Greetings, my wonderful maids. My name is Flare Bliss, and we have returned back to our adventures of Girls, 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 our 10th video. And I'm going to ask you the question again, like I did in one of the previous videos. Have you purchased this game for yourselves yet? Watching just me play is fine, but it'd be more welcoming if you purchase this game for yourselves, for you to play at your own speed and all that kind of jazz. But regardless, let's just move on and seek out the rest of Sena's route. Sunday is here. I cannot believe that I've actually got a date with Sena today. With all the girls at the cafe, she's the kindest and most welcoming. I suppose it would be her that I fall for. The first one that I meet is the one that I fall in love with. Some might call that reckless, but those people don't know Sena, and they don't know me either. I drag myself out of bed and go about my morning routine. Admittedly, sleep came in patches for me. I couldn't stop thinking about what might happen on the date. From our conversation last night, I can't help but wonder if Sena had trouble sleeping too. Maybe it was just the alcohol, but she sure was excitable. Showered and shaved, I get myself dressed and sat down for some breakfast. Glance over the newspaper, but do my best not to drown in the sea of scandals and tragedies. Bad news sells, and the paper makes sure to take advantage of every story. Although, as I flip through, I do find one fascinating article. Stars align for models of the Essence Rise Talent Agency. Is that who Sena can models for? I'm not entirely sure. I don't think she's mentioned who exactly she does her modelling for. But skimming through the article, it mentions the agency as being a locally run business. And apparently there's an opportunity for eligible models to be a part of a trade show. Interesting. I'll read a bit more of the article, but not much else is revealed. Besides, if I drag my feet any longer, I'll be late for my date. For simplicity, we've decided on meeting up outside the cafe, for there we'll walk around the streets of Akihabara and do who knows what. It's a weird feeling coming to work without actually having to work. With everything dark inside the cafe and no promotional displays setting out in front of the doors, the place looks dead. It's almost eerie in a sense. So, out of all of the girls, Nanase is the only one in which we meet in a different location. Our house, that is. But the others we meet outside the cafe. For a moment, I think of everything we've gone through with the cafe. The financial crisis with it, and the issues with the schedules. Oh, the financial crisis is another bump in the road ahead, my friend. It's a miracle that the numbers have turned around like they have. Better, but still not out of the deep blue ocean. We've still got a long way to go, but I'm feeling good about the place. And I'm feeling good about my near future. You're here early, Flarina-San. I couldn't keep my date waiting after all. I hear Sena's voice and turn around to find her standing patiently before me, wearing her lovely white and blue dress. It's a simple yet elegant outfit, one that reminds me of those European ballroom dances you always read about in books. I didn't want to be late. Then that makes two of us. I was actually hoping to spend a few minutes here. I could leave if you wanted. I don't think Sena actually took that the way you thought that was going to be. No, that's not what I meant. I meant I'd like to spend some time with the cafe. Like a person? Words still don't make too much sense. There's almost a sense of nostalgia of how Sena looks over the darkened cafe. The more I think about it though, the more it makes sense. Sena has worked at the cafe for roughly 2 years now. That's a long time. Especially with being able to cross-dress and spend time with like-minded boys. This place is more than just a paycheck for her. To her, it's like a second home. We both turn towards the cafe and gaze again over its darkened windows, and the Girls, girls, girls sign hanging above the front doors. What are you thinking about? I watch as Sena stares over the building. The fondness of her gaze is killing me. There's some memory, some experience that she's reminiscing over with the cafe. I want to know what she's thinking. Sena-can? What are you thinking about? I'm just thinking about the day I started here. I remember being so nervous. I wanted to look the part. I even borrowed some clothes from a modeling agency to try on and see what worked. Dedicated even then? Lovely. Yes, I wanted to impress everyone, but I spent too long on my makeup, and when I left I forgot that it was raining. Damn, yeah, moisture and makeup don't go together very well. I showed up late and soaking wet, my makeup was such a mess. I was so embarrassed. We both have ourselves a good hearty laugh at the memory. Working way too hard to put her best foot forward and she tripped out of a gate, unintentionally. I can't imagine. It's better you can't. But everyone was quite understanding. Nanase brought me a towel and the other girls helped fix my makeup. I even cried a little. Aww, my heart. My heart too. I couldn't stop smiling as Sena recounted the events of her first day here. Just listening to her spread warmth through my chest, I wanted to hug her. That's the sweetest story I think I've heard. I'd only been modeling for a couple of years. I was so naive then, it's still quite embarrassing. I think it's cute. You're still the same, Sena-can, trying so hard for everyone. Sena's cheeks flush at my comment. I think she wants to say something in response, but she's speechless. The girl is so humble that all she can do is give a bow to my comment. Thank you, Flarina-san. Admittedly, there was one other time where I found myself in such shambles. Really? When? Sena's eyes meet mine, and for a few moments we just stare at each other. I'm so engulfed in her violet irises that I nearly forgot my question. All I can see is her, and that gorgeous smile of hers. One that encapsulates even the most brutal of souls. This morning. Excuse me? What about this morning? She finally answers. I was so nervous. Ah, I see the date thing. I was so nervous I didn't know what to wear. I don't go on dates. Neither do I. And neither do I. It's funny how she considers this to be a date, but our trip to the couple's cafe was just as friends. I want to say something, but feel like it ruined the moment. I decided to keep my mouth shut. If it makes you feel any better, I don't do much dating either. What's your favourite memory? I think it would have to be really. It's either one of the two. First two. The day I met you? I wouldn't say so. I think the party was the favourite memory. There are so many memories to choose from here. From the day I met Sena to the day that Nanase almost skipped work, it's near impossible to choose a favourite. But there is one that sticks out to me. Last night's party. That's my favourite. It shows all of us coming together and accomplishing something great. I've never been so proud. It's all because of you, Flarina-san. A good manager knows how to take care of her employees. Thank you for always taking care of us. And thank you for always being there for me. We share a few more moments of silence before I finally do a stretch. I can see what Sena means now when she mentioned wanting to spend some time with the cafe. Ready? Whenever you are. Once we are both satisfied, we head out into Akihabara. No, wait, Flarina-san, I just need 5 more seconds. Okay, we're ready. Yeah, it wasn't even 5 seconds, it was like 1. Our stroll through Akihabara leads us past a number of shops and streets full of people enjoying their Sunday. There's a pleasant kind of ease to the day, and for a while just walking next to Sena is enough. Soon though I realise we're not just wandering, Sena is leading me towards the edge of Akihabara. Not the heart, but the edge. The skin, really. I don't really notice since I'd been so caught up in just enjoying my time next to her, but now that I'm paying attention, Sena's checking every street corner. She keeps a close eye on what road we're on and what intersections we're crossing. I have to admit, I've never seen this part of Akihabara before. The businesses aren't so tightly packed together, and the streets are less crowded out here. Sena-can, were we going somewhere in particular? Of course, it's somewhere very special to me. Don't worry, Flarina-San, we are almost there. Yep, we are quite outside our location in Akihabara, but the location itself is actually in London. Oh? Where are we going? London, England, that is. That is a secret. Please trust me. I promise you will like it. Alright then, lead the way. Do not worry. We're almost there, my champion. Sena beams, nodding confidently as we press on. I follow her down a couple more side streets before we finally arrive. We fought out the funny word. Couple. It's a park, not only that, but a park where you pay just to get in. I've certainly seen these before, but never been inside one. Ayase also showed us this park as well. They're supposed to be quite beautiful, and the money helps cover the cost of the upkeep. Before I can pull out my wallet, Sena pays for both of us. How dare you! You and that smile and those violet eyes. Sena, I could have... No, this is my treat for you, Flarina-San. Note to self, do something to pay Sena back. It's a terrible look for me to have my date be the one paying for things. My concern for the 1300 yen quickly fades away through as we step out into the park. It's beautiful. Always imagine 1300 or something is hugely expensive because I'm used to the British pound. Moving on. Small fields of flowers decorate the ground in neat rows. A narrow stone-cobbled trail leads us through the wide array of trimmed hedges, rose bushes, and many other flowers I cannot name. A shimmering pond rests out among the flowers on one end, with birds coming and going as they please. Sena-can, what is this place? My first photo shoot was here. Ah, you're sharing a memory. It was the start of a new life for me. I followed Sena down one of the many winding paths of the garden. We stop on a wooden bridge that arches over a glistening stream. I think of everyone at the cafe. I am the most fortunate. Fortunate as in money-wise. My family not only encouraged me, but actively pursued my dream with me. So I wonder if there's anything in which your family discourages you. Because with Hayasaka, they did not support her dream of writing. Ayase's family does not support her with cross-dressing. And in this day and age, Nanase doesn't even have a family. So what is the thing in which Sena's family discourages her from doing? Without them, I never would have made it as a model. Is that why you never talk about your modeling? As long as I've been at a cafe, I can easily count on one hand the number of times that Sena's modeling career has come up. None. Unless a customer randomly mentions it, she usually keeps that side of her life to herself. Yeah, a very enigmatic thing. Unless that restrictive thing that their parents were telling to Sena about is the fact that you should never really mention about your modeling career. Kind of like a non-disclosure agreement if you're voice acting. Just never mention it. Just keep it as brief as possible without mentioning any specifics. Yes. The others are in different situations with their families. Hayasaka-san at least has her sister to support her. Ayase-san has no one. So I say nothing. I would like to though. There is so much to talk about with modeling. For the sake of others, she bottles up all her excitement. I know bottling up anger leads to problems. Exactly. Never bottle up negative emotions. Or even positive ones as well. I imagine bottling up the excitement or love could be just as damaging. Yep. Then talk about it with me. I'm the anomaly here. Flarina-San, I just knew I could count on you. There is so much going on right now. I don't know where to begin. Well, I was reading about some kind of trade show opportunity. Is that your modeling agency? Yes, Essence Rise helped me find my footing in with modeling. Now I have an opportunity to stand on a much bigger stage. It's quite thrilling, if not a little nerve-wracking. I can only imagine so. Moving on to like the next stage of one's evolution in their path in life. She juggles and I move close to her as confident of a face that Sena is putting on. She can't stop fidgeting. It's obvious she's not used to talking about her modeling like this. I remember getting cold feet in my public speaking class at college. Yes, those PowerPoint presentations where you have to stand in front of everyone and do a speech and hopefully your knees don't shake. And that's without all the fancy makeup and clothes that you wear. I'd be nervous too. I suppose in a way that the clothes and makeup themselves are also a benefactor, not just the individual themselves. I'm sorry to ramble on about it. I've just never entered into anything so big before. It has always been magazine shoots and clothing advertising. Those are big, but not in the same way. It's alright. I'm excited for you. Any chance I can stop by at this trade show, or is it closed off? Only if you have a ticket, but I hear those are expensive and difficult to come by. Yeah, let's not go up the black market to find a ticket. Besides, I'm not sure that I will attend. The agency is still deciding on who gets to go. I place a hand on hers and Sena gazes up at me, her hopeful eyes search through mine as I try to show my support. If you end up going, you'll be the talk of the day. Doesn't matter what the show is for. Being the talk of the day sounds like a lot of pressure, but thank you, Flarina-San. Of course, we wander around a bit more before Sena starts leading us towards the exit. Even at the tail end of the garden, there are bird baths, stone sculptures, and all manner of decoration. It's the kind of place I just might buy a season pass to. Flarina-San, there is another reason why I want to come here. Oh? What's that? Remember how I mentioned this place changing my life? Yes. Yeah, you started modeling here. Well, coming here today has changed my life again. In another way? Oh, because today I'm becoming much closer to you because it's a little too intimate, thank you very much. Sena can? Sena doesn't let me respond, she just giggles and hurries on ahead towards the exit. How does she do it? It's like this garden was built just for her, and I just received a tour of heaven. I'm left breathless and standing in a stupor while she waves me on. Flarina-San, why are you still standing there? Come on, the park is closing soon. Really? That jerks my legs to life and I speed walk my way out of the park. Early afternoon and the park is closing. It is a Sunday. I start to ask Sena why, but she points to a sign near the gate. Oh, that makes sense. The park closes for a couple hours after noon so caretakers can go through, clean up and tend to the plants. If we really wanted to, we could stop back later in the day when it's open again. The sunset will be gorgeous. It's something to keep in mind anyway. Is there any place you'd like to go to? I think for a moment and then nod. Yeah, mind if we swing by the mall? I'd like to pick up a few things. Of course. We turn and head back towards the heart of Akihabara. As we walk, Sena talks more about her modeling career. She talks about how her father knew a friend of a friend that also knew somebody that was not by the name of, well, whatever it would be, that worked at the talent agencies she auditioned for, not auctioned. It's not property. A friend from my father's office had a daughter modelling with them at the time. That's how I got my foot in the door. I'm honestly a little jealous. I've never had that kind of luck before. My luck only produced one auction. Everything else took work and a great deal of patience. I can only imagine. How do you even prepare for these auctions? One way to think about them is a pageant. It's a showcase of beauty, personality, and refinement. I work on my vocals and my dancing. I also keep my interviewing skills as sharp as I can. You could say it's all about presentation. Wow, sort of a jack of all trades, Ben. Precisely. We both have ourselves a laugh as we make our way back into the heart of Akihabara. The afternoon crowds keep us on our toes, and I suddenly miss the serene quiet of the garden. It's kind of like the Manhattan in New York. Sorry, the park in New York. Not that I dislike Akihabara, but there's something to be said for calm, open land where people aren't shoulder to shoulder. Still, Sena's dedication to her modelling is impressive. With how hard she works at the cafe, I know that she'll go far with her modelling. And we finally make it into the mall, as bustling as ever. Some people are just hanging out, taking a break from the heat. As nice as it is outside, the sun is beating down pretty hard. I started to sweat a bit out there. The majority, though, are carrying bags and going from store to store. Feels like I've spent a lot of time here lately. Between shopping for groceries and coming in for the occasional supply runs, I know this mall inside and out. From the electronics departments to the clothes and office stores, I don't need to even think about where to go. I spend any more time here, they'll ticket me for loitering. Damn. Okay there. This is Akihabara's largest shopping center. It makes sense you'd come here often. I'm almost always stopping for one reason or another. Sweeter miss, I'd intended to get a rise out of Sena with that comment. The joke either flew over her head or my humour has once again failed to meet her ears. Or impress. My bet is on the latter. Oh well, maybe someday I'll tell myself. Fortunately, Sena isn't interested in lingering on my sense of humour or lack thereof. So, what was it that you needed? Mainly a couple of books. Figure I may as well grab some reference material while we're here. References for what? Work. I want to come up with some fun activities for the customers. Nanase-can or Hayasaka-san mention my placemats? Yep. They sounded really cute. Hayasaka-san showed one to me. I'd like to do more stuff like that. Just need some ideas. Reaching the bookstore, I lead the way in and we both move through the aisles, searching for the reference section. The bookstore is one of the smaller stores in the mall, and so it doesn't take too long before I'm pulling out a couple of sections to purchase. Selections. Once I have what I need, I see Sena eyeing one of the aisles. Did she want to buy something? I still owe her for paying my fare at the garden earlier. Was there anything you wanted? Whoop. Startled. What? No, I'm fine. Really, I don't need anything. You sure? Sena quickly nods in response. With how high she jumped for my conclusion, I'd say there's definitely something here that's caught her eye. Definitely because it raised her out of her concentration. I don't mind buying you something. Come on, what is it? I figure I owe her for our stop at the park. Without waiting for Sena to respond, I wander over to the aisle she'd been eyeing. It's the romance section. Funny enough. Actually, this fits her to a T. Flarina-San, I really don't need... Sena rushed up to my side as if to stop me from activating a trapdoor or getting ensnared in the claws of a monster. It's rather cute how flustered she is. Please, it's my treat. Come on. You paid my fee at the garden. Let me buy you something here. She's stunned into silence, utterly defeated. For a moment, I half expected to walk out. She's not used to being dotted on like this, at least from what I can gather. Then, eventually though, Sena reached up and pulls out a single book. On the cover is a beautiful slender boy, dressed up in a traditional yukata. He stands alone at the pier, gazing out over the horizon. Empty Docks is the title of the book. I wonder what kind of title that is kind of referencing in the story of said book. This one? Yes, it just came out. It's the next book in the Lost Love series. Oh, the name alone sounds tragic. It is. The series follows two boys in search for each other. She presses the book against her chest. Aito-san and Yoshimi-san. They finally found each other at the end of the last book, and Aito-san was going to confess to Yoshimi-san, but Yoshimi-san left to find his brother, leaving Aito-san behind. I listened to her tell the tragedy of the two boys. It sounded like a heartfelt story that the author has put a lot of work into. The more I look at Sena, the more she reminds me of my mum too. I can clearly remember my mom tearing up over similar books back home. Then let's pick it up. Once you've read it, you can give me a review. Thank you, Flarina-San. I smile and nod at taking the book from her before finally going to pay. Honestly, these books never seems like my cup of tea. They all seem some kind of cringe involved them, including another certain romance story called Romeo and Juliet. They both died. But if they can move even Sena, then maybe I need to give them a read. Don't just do things for the sake of others. Do them for yourself and for others. We leave the bookstore together, and the day, along with my arms, feels so full. From the moment I met up with Sena at the cafe to the garden and now this, I honestly couldn't be happier than I am now. I've heard some people describe love as filling a black hole in a person's heart. I thought that was melodramatic at best, and downright cringe at worst. But now with Sena at my side, I think I see what they mean. There's an emptiness to life that drains away when I'm with Sena. Where shall we go? It's starting to get late. Sena's question pulls me out of my head. She's right, the number of people in the mall have slimmed down, and the evening sun is casting an orange hue through the store windows. I suggest going back to the garden, but I doubt we'd make it before close. How about something to eat? Don't know about you, but I'm pretty hungry myself. I'd love to. There's a small restaurant that has good food and kind service. I often stop by when I'm modeling. Let's go there then. Sena smiles and once again leads the way. Turns out this restaurant isn't too far from the bookstore. We enter into a basic family restaurant with red cushioned seats and golden oak stained aesthetic. It resembles country dining if anything, and all the staff are dressed semi-formal with matching red aprons and black slacks. We find ourselves at a table, and after ordering some food, we sit back to relax. Thank you for inviting me out, Sena-kan. Everything has been amazing. Please, Flarina-san, I should be thanking you. I can't remember the last time I had such fun. Today has meant so much to me. I'm glad I could spend it with you. I smile back at her, meeting that beautiful violet gaze of hers. I'd have it no other way. Our food arrives shortly after, and the hamburger steak, while simple, is delicious. During our whole meal, few words pass between us, but few need to. We're on the same wavelength. Soon our bill is paid, our stomachs are full, and we're out of the door. We step out of the mall just as many of the stores inside are closing up. The sun has set and Akihabara's nightlife is just waking from its slumber. The neon lights and street lamps give the city an alluring glow, almost beckoning us deeper into its core, but even then, I can't stop the yawn that sneaks out of my lips. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to yawn. It's been so much fun, I didn't realise how tired I'd gotten. It is alright. I think the same can be said of me. Perhaps we should call it a night. As much as I hate seeing our date come to an end, she's right, we've both had a full day, and we both have work in the morning. I could walk you home if you'd like. Sure. Wait, what? Isn't it usually the boy who walks the girl home? I mean, we're both boys, but Sena, I'm not too sure what to do here. What about you? Shouldn't I... Oh, you don't need to worry, Flarina-San. I'll be fine. I want to walk you home. It's probably her way as well of figuring out where we live. I decided it's best not to argue. Besides, I can't exactly complain about the company. If you say so, I'd be happy if you walked me home then. Me too. We start off down the street towards my apartment, walking side by side. Somewhere along the way, we end up holding hands. The whole walk home, I'm tempted to talk to her, to come up with some kind of conversation. It's too peaceful though, and too perfect. Despite the chill in the air, my chest is warm, my heart is beating hard. Each time Sena brushes up against me, my heart flutters again around in my chest. It keeps a wide smile plastered across my face that'd be impossible to hide. Although her adamancy to walk us home, I wonder if she's got something planned. Time flies on our slow walk, and before I know it, my apartment is standing right in front of us. The time to part ways is at hand, and I squeeze Sena's fingers without thinking. I suppose I could walk her home now. Well, Sena can. Thank you so much for today. If every day like this is with you, I can't wait for our next day. Lovely. You too, Flarina-San. Oh, those eyes are beaming much. Those eyes were definitely wider. Like, up and down wider. I'll cherish every moment of it. But, everything okay? Yeah, everything is fine. But could maybe... Oh, Sena shifts her weight from side to side before I can ask what's wrong. She leans in and presses her lips right up to mine. Ah, the kiss is soft and short. Strawberry? Her lips taste faintly of strawberry. When she pulls away, I'm left speechless. The kiss was too brief, too short, and I was too stunned. Even as she pulls away, I'll see the distinct hue of red splash across her cheeks. Blushing. Mine are burning hot, and we both look away at the same time. Would it be okay if I stepped in for a bit? Her words are so soft, so short, I almost don't hear her. Of course, come in. Damn. And we step into my apartment. Sena slips past me into my dark abode. Only when I turn on the lights do I see her twirl around in place, taking everything in. So this is where you live. Yeah, not much, but it's home. It is just how I imagined it would be. What, plain? Simple? What? Empty walls and cheap furniture? I'm not exactly a sophisticated guy. I settle for practical over gaudy. Cheap versus overpriced. I would say functionality over anything else, really. Although I think functional and expensive is better than functional and cheap. But functional comes first. Cheap, but yeah, any pictures hanging are usually nails that were already in the walls. Even then, I only have a couple of those on display. I'm not much of a decorator. Simple. Minimalist. I don't know if I'd go that far. I would. It's relaxing. Cozy. I like it. Funny, I wasn't quite expecting to receive compliments on my interior design skills today. Or lack thereof. Coming from Sena, though, she doesn't come off as someone who'd lie through their teeth. Sena's always been careful about what she's said. Although... Now I wonder what your place must look like. My place is far less interesting, are you sure? I have a vanity and mirror where I do make my makeup, some dressers and shelves with stuffed animals. And lots of stuffed animals, yeah. To reiterate the amount of stuffed animals, we have to say that there are stuffed animals twice to get the message across. And that's not interesting? Your place sounds far more cozy than mine, especially with all the stuffed animals. Maybe another time. Tonight I want to be here with you. Wrapping my arms around the raven-haired beauty, I pull her in for a hug. Her silky hair brushes against my skin, and I feel the steady rhythm of her heart against mine. It's impossible not to lean in and nuzzle my face in against her hair. For a time, we stand in the middle of my apartment just rocking back and forth, like a slow dance. We shift our weight from foot to foot in each other's arms. Eventually going to bed. No, I was reading too far ahead. Every time I even try to pull away, Sena snuggles closer to me. Eventually, though, I hear a yawn escape out of her mouth and chuckle. Want to lie down? She doesn't respond. She just nods against my shoulder. All right, then. We part just enough to walk into the bedroom without tripping over each other. Once in bed, though, we cuddle back up. Our foreheads touch, and I gaze deep into the beautiful violet eyes of hers. She stares right back and doesn't say a word. Still with her back. Is that a backpack or is it just part of her dress? None are needed. Our lips meet once more in a slow, meandering kiss. Should we sleep? I ask, knowing she's tired, but also knowing that we both have work in the morning. Sena leans her head in and places a peck to my cheek. And unlike Hayasaka, which is a common theme between the two characters here, well, Sena and I both have work on that same day. I don't really want to, because it means the day will end. But you are right, Monday is getting longer the more we stay up. Then you need to promise we'll do this again. Wink. I promise, Flarina-San. We will have another date soon. Good enough for me. Good night, Sena-can. Good night, Flarina-San. I switch out of the light and we fall asleep together in each other's arms. I feel like there's some stopping to smell the roses achievement, and that is of the you reach your first date with Sena. Congratulations. Sena wears that same smile she always does as she steps inside my office. It's always refreshing to see. How she managed to stay in high spirits is something I may never figure out. Of course, that's not going to stop me from trying. After the essay, I frequently find that smile of hers stuck in my head. Flarina-San, good morning. Was it meant to be good morning as we woke up together? Her voice is soft, and her cheeks red. I'm in awe. Even here, Sena stands as though she's waited all day to see me, even though it's still early in the morning. Funny, I could have sworn I woke up this morning with her at my side. Good morning. How are things going out there? Slow but steady. It's an eased Monday so far. It's quite nice. Is it? Isn't it? Yes, but we're low on the triple cherry chocolate frosting. I don't think we'll have enough to last us the day. What? We are? Sena nods and then it hits me. Shoot, I should have double checked the inventory on Saturday. If I'd known, I would have ordered it then. We had the frosting in and we'd be set. It was meant to be our special topping for the day too. I guess we're going to have to improvise. I'm sorry, that totally slipped my mind. Yeah, Saturday was our party day. But it's quite alright. We were busy. I hopped back onto my computer to get the order in. We won't get the frosting today, but at least we'll have it for the next time. Way to drop the ball. Yeah, but I should have been thinking. It's alright. Strawberry fudge twist frosting is one of our most popular toppings. Maybe we can use that instead? With the order submitted, I think about what Sena suggested is a great idea, but that's Sena for you. Whenever there's a problem, she's always right there when I need her. When there's a problem, Sena applies her Sena solution. That'd be perfect. At first, I think that's all Sena had stepped in here for, but as she stands there twiddling her thumbs, it's obvious something else is on the girl's mind. Just keep watching her struggle on deciding what to do. The manager in me wants to dismiss her, but after yesterday, I wouldn't care if she stayed in here with me all day, but we know that's an impossibility. Ayase might though. Sena-can? Did you enjoy yesterday? Yes, it meant so much to me. Thank you. Have you started reading the book yet? The book? Yeah, the book that I brought you. I mean, I gifted to you. You know I haven't had a chance. Yeah, that's very true. Of course I know that, I just had to bring it on up. So Sena appeared so happy when I brought her the romance novel. The story between the characters was so sad, trying to be with who they love most, but life just tears them apart. I don't want that for us. I was just teasing. But there actually is something I wanted to talk to you about. What is it? Our date yesterday. I was really happy to be with you. Every second of it. Flarina-San, this is a lot harder than it's supposed to be. Sure, I've seen shows where the guy tries confessing to his first crush and makes a big deal over saying 3 little words. The I love you words. Always thought those kinds of plots to be over the top. Surely no one stressed that much over asking a person out. Talk about a foot in the mouth moment. Yeah, Hayasaka also said that, but she also said something about a foot interest of sorts. My mouth dries up and suddenly all words escape me. I sit there dumbfounded, leaving Sena waiting in suspense. Yeah, I should have planned this one out better. Before I could say anything though, Sena leans in over the desk, pushing her lips right against mine. She kisses me. For a moment, it's like a jolt to my heart. It pounds in my chest, her soft and moist lips touching over just mine. Just over my side, those slender eyelashes fluttering as our noses brush against each other. The kiss lasts for mere seconds, but it's enough to leave me panting for breath. What was that? I start to ask, but see Sena smiling in front of me. My answer is yes. I love you too, Flip. Hey man, are you a mind reader? Sena can. Ah dear, releasing the cutest of laughs, Sena warms me with another smile. I think I have for a while now. This morning though, is when I finally embraced it. Flarina-San, I love you. Sena can. I love you too. I move to stand up. I want to hug her. I want to be with her, always at her side. Sena steps around the desk and we share another embrace. It's far shorter than what I would like, but we are at work. Still, having her soft body press against mine even for a second is enough. When we pull away, my heart is pounding. I swear she can hear it. We're staring into each other's eyes for a few moments, not saying a word. None are needed. I should get back to work. Ayase-san will be wondering where I went. Of course. I let her go and watch as Sena leaves the office. She gives me one last smile before closing the door behind her. I stand there for a few seconds, taking it all in. I'm dating Sena-chan. It's happening. The realization draws a stupid smile across my face. From one cheek to another cheek as I take my seat and go back to work. I know you're dating Sena-can. She is the obvious choice of the bunch. How so? Any of them could be an obvious choice. What is that supposed to mean? With a big laugh, Katori gives a shake of head and I'm left feeling like a fool. Sena certainly is the calmest and quietest of the bunch, but that's why I like her. She's the kind of person a man could come home to after a hard day. And a traditional Japanese wife. Has she asked you to meet her parents yet? Nope. No. She will. Sena-can is by the book. She will. Why do I feel like you're making fun of me? Katori shakes her head, holding back another laugh. Not exactly convincing there, Katori-san. Not at all. Just predictable. All the customers love Sena-can. Guess I shouldn't be surprised you do too. Yeah, well, she does so much for the cafe. And for me. I want to do something for her, but you don't know what. Yep, she is a mystery. I'd like to do something to help her with modeling, but I'd probably get in the way. There were talks of a trade show, but I don't know how I'd get tickets to that. I might be able to help you there. How comes? Really? Leave it to me. I don't know what to say. With everything Katori is helping with, I owe this girl big time. We're not exactly out of the woods yet, but between myself, the 4 maids, and Katori, I'm feeling much better about our odds of the cafe's survival. How are you feeling, Flarina-san? You've been working very hard lately. I hope you're not wearing yourself out. Well, I've lost a few fingers, I've lost my toes, I've lost all of my hair, and I've lost a few heartbeats, but I'm here still. It's okay, Sena-can. The week's just been busier than usual. I'm okay. Sena, where would I be without her? I've caught her looking my way several times today. She's more worried about me than I am. It's nice to have a person like that though, who's looking over you, but also in the same way you're looking over them. I think I actually dozed off for a bit on my computer, and that's what prompted her sudden visit. Are you sure? You already put in so much work for the concert. Sena-can. I'm fine. Really, I am. Do you see under my eyes? Do you see the bag under my eyes? Wait, there are bags under my eyes? This is where I want to be. Right here with you. With everyone. If you're sure, here at least have something to drink. Exactly, like some water. Or a cup of coffee, actually. Actually, I could do with one, but not right now. She sets down a cup of coffee for me. I'm touched. Reaching up, I take her hand in mine, squeezing it. She blushes as I hold onto her hand, gazing into those lovely violet irises of hers. Thank you, Sena-can. And don't worry about me. You got that trade show coming up, don't you? She'd only just learned they accept her application into the trade show. Excellent. On top of working at the cafe, Sena has spent much of her free time working with her talent agency, figuring out scheduling, wardrobe, and other details. I only get to hear bits and pieces of what's going on. They have the outfits all picked out. Don't tell me what you're wearing. I'll wait for the pictures. We're just waiting to hear back from the organizers on scheduling. I'm sure you'll do great though. I can't wait to hear about everything. I just wish you could attend. But the event is a closed one and tickets are very expensive. We shouldn't tell her that we will be there. They didn't give me any extra tickets either. Don't worry about me. Just make sure I get loads of pictures. Victoria had alluded to helping me with a trade show. I haven't had anything from her, but there's a chance, although very slim, but I may be able to attend. I want to tell Sena, but I also don't want her hopes up. I'll get in on the next one. I promise. We share a moment together, but this being work, it doesn't last long. I should get back to work. I nod and watch as Sena heads back to the tables to wait on customers. She's far too beautiful for me. How did I end up with a girl like her? The day passes once again without issue. I finally managed to catch up with my work and, well, with everything now submitted, filed away, I can actually relax for the last hour or so of this day. After the others take off, I find Sena hanging back, staring off into the distance. She's relaxed, leaning against the side of a cafe, and gives me a wave when she sees me approaching. Hello, Sena-can. How was the party? It was wonderful. I don't think I've ever seen everyone so happy before. It's the night we've been waiting for. All of us. Everything has been so busy lately. Finally hearing back from the owner, it's something we all needed. She's exactly right. While I added up the money myself and had our success confirmed, it never felt official, until that phone call. Having the cafe officially in the green is a weight off everyone's shoulders. Now that that is done though, we can really start to have fun. Maybe bring more of you back during the week, do more activities. Maybe we should take it easy, Flarina-San. There will be plenty of time for that. I shake my head. She's right. She's absolutely right. Sena, the voice of reason, the voice of an angelic being. We just escaped the clutches of debt. No need to jump back in. Besides, everyone's just settling. No need to stir them up again. You're right. I think we'll take it easy for a while. Maybe even make having Sunday off no, not a regular thing. I wouldn't mind that. It means I could spend more time with you. Reaching, I take Sena's hand in mine. She squeezes back and gazes into my eyes. I'll never get over how beautiful this girl is. Hey, you won't hear me complaining. You got anywhere to be tonight? Not particularly. Want to come home with me then? Have a little after party? Now that I've got her hand in mine, I don't want to let it go. I even give her hand a squeeze of my own to let her know how I feel. I would love to. A few weeks have flown by since the big concert took place. I'd say things are back to normal at Cafe, but the old relaxed atmosphere of Girls 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 Cafe is gone. The concert not only did wonders for our bottom line, it attracted a whole new crowd who just brought all 4 girls back up to full-time just to keep up with the influx of customers. I'm dumbstruck. Every so often I feel like if I'm not careful, I'll wake up from this dream and find my miserable self in a bar somewhere. You keep reminiscing about a possible bad ending. Stop it. That's not all though. If it was, believe me, I'd be more than satisfied. A high-paying job with hard-working employees and positive atmosphere. What more could a guy want? A beautiful girlfriend, that's what. No, the icing on the cake is the girl standing in front of me, Kaduki Sena. Everything I've been through at the cafe from the moment I got hired to dealing with all the financial problems. This girl right here is what made everything worth the trouble. A lot's happened, hasn't it, Flarina-San? Too much, really. But I'm glad things have quieted back down. I don't know that if anything has quieted back down. The cafe is busier than ever. I suppose you're right, but at least we have the cafe. It's good to see everyone excited about work again. That's very true. While the girls were always happy to come to work, when the threat of closing loomed over our heads, the cafe's atmosphere was far different. The tension, thick like fog. You could cut it with a knife, hung over everyone. Even as they smiled their way through the day, sometimes I think even the customers felt it. Of course, once we started to work on the concert, then things started to shift. Now we're like a steam engine, full steam ahead. Yes, Kaduki. Everything alright? Bringing up work suddenly shifts Sena's mood. Perhaps something happened at work she wants to talk about? Yes, it's just tomorrow. I'd been waiting for this. The trade show she'll be working at is finally tomorrow. Tonight is kind of our last hurrah before a big day. I've waited until tonight to tell her the good news. As it turns out, Kotori News-san working on the show, so that girl weaseled a ticket out of the poor guy for me. I pulled Sena in for a hug, comforting the girl. It's alright. You're going to knock them dead. I know. I just wish you could be there. I'm biting the insides of my cheek. I want to smile so damn bad, but I can't. Maybe it's evil of me to play this up, but the surprise alone will be worth it. Do you really wish that? Come on, Flarina-San, you know I do. Taking Sena's hand, I sit her down on my couch. The girl blinks, tilting her head at me confused. This is honestly way too much fun. I better not make a habit of doing this with her. It might get me in trouble. Oh, lean in, I press my lips against the girl's mouth, giving her a slow, loving kiss. Sena jumps in surprise at the sudden kiss, but doesn't pull away. Instead, she hugs her hands against her chest and closes those lovely violet eyes of hers. Now's my chance. Swiftly pulling the ticket out of my back pocket, I drop it onto her lap. Sena is so caught up in our kiss, she doesn't even realize it's there. What was that for? For luck. The kiss brings a smile back onto Sena's face, and I just lean back, licking over my lips. I don't say a word, I just wait for realization. It doesn't take long. What is this? She's noticed. Holding up the trade show ticket, Sena's eyes go wide. Now my smile is from ear to ear. I can't hold it any longer. Oh, I want to act surprised, like I don't know where it came from, but I know if I did, I'd burst out laughing. That part of the plan will have to sink into the ocean. Instead, I'll have to wing it from here. Taking the ticket from her, I hold it up and read the details aloud for her. 1 full access pass to all floors. Flash photography allowed. Non-journalist pass. Knew I had this thing lying around somewhere. How long have you had this ticket? She is very eyebally. You know I've been worried sick over this whole thing. Okay, maybe I poked the bear a bit too much. Still totally worth it. I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to upset you. I probably would have said something sooner, but the ticket wasn't guaranteed. I just recently got a hold of it. You really just got it? Yes, I asked a friend for help. Who? That's a secret. Now we're everyone who's acknowledging a secret. Sena goes quiet for a bit, and I can't help but wonder if I took things a sort of far. She is more sensitive compared to the other girls. This opportunity, though, it was too good to pass up. Thank you, Flarina-San. Thank you so very much. And her smile returns, this time with a couple of tears in her eyes. My heart melts and Sena so happy. I'm reduced to an adoring little man at this time. It's Sena who pulls me in for another hug. I pat her back, listen to the girl cry. It meant this much to her? For a few moments we just hugged it out. Sena's whimpers and continued whispers of thank you fills my ears and just turned me to putty. Mission failed successfully. Did not go as planned, but the ending was not as bad as we envisioned it to. I'm glad I didn't draw things any further, or I actually might have pissed her off. Are you going to be okay? Yes, I'll be fine. I'm just so happy. Sena-can, I'd do anything to make you happy. I love you. Do you really mean that? Of course I do. You are the most important person in my life. No one comes close, not even your mom and dad? Okay, it's just... Flarina-san, I'm a traditional woman. Yes, that's one of the reasons I love you so much. You're very elegant, very beautiful. Thank you. But then, someday I'd like to get married, share a family with the person I love most. That's why, Flarina-san, I need to know if you're serious about us. She's thinking very far ahead. Hell, I barely plan out past a couple of weeks, let alone years into the future. Hell, I don't even know what I'm having for dinner tomorrow. In a way, it doesn't surprise me. Sena is well put together. She knows what she wants out of life. I want to be with Sena. I know it won't be easy, but I've already come this far. Besides, she's already got me wrapped around her little pinky. No, I didn't mean that. I mean her finger, for goodness sakes. I don't think I could pull away, even if I wanted to. While marriage hadn't crossed my mind, making her my wife, I could get used to that. Taking Sena's hand into mine, I give him a squeeze. Sena-can, I want to be with you. If you're serious about me, I want us to work, and I'll do anything to make it work. Good, because I want to introduce you to my parents. Really? Yes. I hadn't expected that either from her. Well, Katori did hint it. I'd be honored to meet them. And our embrace. In her excitement, Sena throws herself at me, grabbing my face and pulling me in for a smooch. Is that what they call it these days? Her soft, moist lips press against mine, and I'm left in shock as we share a loving, long kiss together. It's amazing to think that all this started months back when Sena's standing outside the cafe handing out flyers. People say that you shouldn't fall in love with the first girl you meet. Well, those people clearly have never met Kaduki Sena. Our lips pull away briefly, and I'm able to gaze into my lover's beautiful teary eyes. I've never seen her this happy. Of course, I've never ever been as happy as I am now. I hope you'll meet my parents too, Sena. I will. She presses her lips to mine once more and moans happily into the kiss. Moans. I guess it's official now. Sena is all mine and I am all hers. It's going to be a long and bumpy road together. As long as I can be with Sena, I will be the happiest man on this planet. I love you, Flarina-san. My one true love. You have reached the best ending ever. all 4 best ending evers, actually. But there is still one more ending in which we need to pursue. One in which has eluded us so far, but one in which I've actually wanted to pursue firstly, but I end up getting the bad ending. But I suppose that is, in a ways, a very similar path towards actually getting either the bad end or the harem ending, is by doing a similar kind of route where you're not focusing on one particular girl, but you're trying to diverge out to all of them. But I think there are some key choices in which we need to make throughout the game. Manager-san, can, Sena, whatever you want to call it, pronouns, stuff like that. What are you meaning by an envisioned certain services being reserved for the secret menu only? Yes, it is so secret that you can only access it on the website, and on that website you have to find a very peculiar link, and then through that peculiar link you're going to have to put in your address, your mother's maiden name and all that, so that then you could be able to access the Girls Cafe secret services. Secret menu, which has the secret services. Okay, I think I messed something up here, but kind of in a good way. Ayase is now the mole. Now it's Hayasaka that should spawn first, not Sena, and Sena alone. I keep ending up here regardless if I'm trying to mimic my original playthrough of this game. Like, getting Hayasaka to spawn here first is probably the hardest step here, and it's so easy to spawn Sena in because of how many choices that favors her. Like, that's probably one weakness or one thing about this game that needs a little bit tweaking, is that there's too much Sena focused choices. Okay, but it's the first step. Hayasaka has spawned. Now will Sena spawn as well? Will she? Oh, for goodness sakes. Oh, I thought I'd done it. How many different intricate steps does it require to get to that point? I've already done it, but I don't remember the exact intricate steps to get to this point. That point, the desired point. Oh, there we go. That's the trigger. Nice. Don't know how I got here, but for goodness sakes, the random choices I made somehow led us to here. But I definitely would believe that the harem route requires appeasing to as many as possible. And that's by saying you're both cute. You mean I have to pick? I don't know. You're both really cute. Thank you. Not every day I'll get put on the same level as Sena can here. Please, Hayasaka-san. If anything, I'm happy to be compared to you. Huh. You don't really mean that. You're a model here. I don't see how that matters. But now that you remind me, I'm actually here to work. I'm just taking over for a model who called in sick. They seem to have contracted a virus of some sort. It's quite unfortunate. I hope they're alright. I don't realise they did photo shoots at the shopping centre. There are studios on the upper floor along with a couple talent agencies. I'm sorry, but I have to run. It was nice to see you. No problem. See you at work tomorrow. Goodbye, you two. Take care. Goodbye. And that leaves us both alone again. I could never compete with you girls. As tempting as it looks, I don't think I can do it. What do you mean? Don't you like our uniforms? She's worried about my personal taste with the maid outfits. That's not a problem. It's actually quite the opposite. I love the design of their maid clothing. Long white stockings combined with their beautiful black skirt and frills. It's no wonder people come here. Those maids are gorgeous. As for me, I love the uniforms. You all look stunning in them. Ayase doesn't say anything, just drinks up the compliments. If I tried on one of those maid uniforms, I'd just be doing the world a great disservice. Oh dear. I suppose you would. Best leave the cross-dressing to the professionals. Couldn't have said it better myself. It'd probably take you 100 years anyway just to think of going pro here. So that means you lot are at least 100 years old. Damn you, Ayase. This is definitely a given in this part of the game. Thank both girls. I feel like some choices are very, very easy to get to. Like, this is always a given to get to. But with the case of Ayase, you have to specifically pick on the second opportunity, as in, like, not shadowing them on the first day, but after the... no, wait, the third, as in, like, after the shopping mall scene. Then you have to get to IRC possibly for that specific option to pick up, so it's like we can't compete with the maids in a way. What would I do about these two? Not only did they keep their smiles and their spirits up, but they even helped me brainstorm ideas of how to help the cafe. There's something to be said for hard-working, positive-minded employees. Both Ayase and Sena had every right to scream at me for cutting their hours. Instead, they made the best of the situation. We're better off for it. Sena-can, Ayase-san. I just wanted to give both of you girls a big thank you for today. I don't know what I would have done without you. That's very sweet, Flarina-San. We were only doing our job, but you've done your job much better than most others can. What good's are made if you can't count on them? I have a good laugh, too true. Oh, good points, but still, you both have every reason to be frustrated with me. So I really appreciate your hard work in helping me brainstorm ideas with managing the place. Thank you both so much. Every cafe has rough times. It doesn't help that you're new here. As long as everyone works together, I'm sure you'll figure things out. Like we said, teamwork, sportsmanship. No I in team. That is very true. I just really appreciate it. Let me know if you need anything. Of course. Just as long as you do the same. I will. Now, why don't you two run along and I'll finish up closing here. I've got plenty of girls already. I'd love to accept, but I've got my hands full as it is. The four here are more than enough to keep me busy. Oh, getting greedy are we? You make it sound like we're a burden. But isn't that you? Oh, you call me the burden, how dare you. I don't even get a response in and Hayasaka starts laughing with her sister. I was trying to be sincere and they flip my words back at me. Who's the one throwing a party? Yeah, that's what I thought. It's me. How dare you. We're alone. It's almost like we're going to the bad end again, but I hope that's not the case. The girls probably miss work too. Before maids treat the cafe like a second home, it's quite common for people to become attached to their workplace and the people they work with. But what Sena, Ayase and the others have is more than just love of the job. More than camaraderies. There's family there. As happy as everyone was getting the day off, I can't help but wonder if any secretly would have rather come into work. Or maybe I'm just overthinking things. I think this is it. This is the dialogue. This is the dialogue that we meet every time we meet with a successful character's route. And this feels like the successful dialogue in which we need to meet in order to actually get to the point which we need to go to. Today is not the cafe's last. I don't care what I have to do. This place is going to stay open. You're serious? But I thought you said... Did you really think you can? I stare over the hopeful faces of the girls. Honestly, I don't know if I can. But I'm sure as hell going to give it my all. It's time to start putting up a fight for what I care about. I'll go straight to the owner's house if I have to. I'm keeping this place open no matter what. Then we'll help. Whatever it takes will help. The other three nod and I lean in for one more hug. We hold each other close, not a word pressing between us. As if all our energy is merged into one, like some kind of Dragon Ball Z scene. I know you really love the girls at the cafe, putting in all this work just for them. You're quite the guy. Thanks, that means a lot coming from you. The girls, including your sister, have become really special to me. They have their effect on people. I followed Katara deeper into the park, getting the sense that her mind was wandering. Being Hayasaka's sister, I can only imagine what she's had to put up with for not only Hayasaka but the other girls as well. I remember being a little worried when Katie first started at the cafe. That Nanase-can, I wanted to kill her for a while there. Kotori legit gets angry just at the memory of Nanase. I can't help but laugh. Kill might be too strong of a word, but I don't disagree. It took a long time for me to warm up to Nanase as well. Nanase-kan was such a handful when I met her. Didn't think I'd ever get used to her being around. If it wasn't for Hayasaka-san and the others, I probably would have gone crazy. Who says you haven't? I think you're quite taken with those girls, Flarina-san. Not that I blame you. I just want what's best for them. I stammer out, really, that's all it is. But I have to admit, I don't know where I'd be without Ayase, Sena, Hayasaka, and even Nanase. What makes work meaningful isn't necessarily what a person does, but who they do it with, and right now I can't imagine what my life would be like without these 4 girls by my side. I do too. I do anything for them. Especially my sister Hayasaka-san. Just promise me you'll take good care of them. I will do my best, like no one ever has done before. Of course. That a boy. And if you can't handle Nanase-kan, let me know. Well, I sure will contact you on a first name basis. We both have a good chuckle at the joke. I don't know what to say. With everything Kotori is helping me with, I owe this girl big time. A few weeks have flown by since the big concert took place. I'd say things are back to normal at Café, but the old relaxed atmosphere of Girls, Girls, Girls Café is gone. The concert not only did wonders for our bottom line, it attracted a whole new crowd. We just brought all 4 girls back up to full time just to keep up with the influx of customers. I'm dumbstruck. Every so often I feel like if I'm not careful I'll wake up from this dream and find my miserable self in a bar somewheres. That's the final time you're gonna say that. At the very least, if this is a dream, could I at least not wake up from it until I see how this all ends? Come on, who's up for another? Oh, okay, so we've all been invited round our house. For a drinking do. Nanase drunkenly holds up a bottle of sake as the other 3 laugh and hold up their glasses for a refill. 5 people crammed into this tiny apartment is a stretch, but we make it work, sitting shoulder to shoulder. Normally I wouldn't, but since we have tomorrow off, I suppose I'll take another shot. That's right. In celebration for bringing the 4 back up to full time and seeing the cafe's daily income more than double even with 4 workers, I unilaterally decided that a party was in order. As for why my partner is ground zero, considering the busy weeks we've had at a cafe, I figured everyone would appreciate getting out of that place. Heh, count me in. You're going to need a bigger apartment if this becomes the norm, Flarina-san. Great. All my employees crammed around my apartment. I couldn't imagine a better timeline. Heh. That or you'll have to move in next door. Maybe we can take over a whole floor. Operation Otokonoko is a go. No, that's just too many syllables. Otokonoko. Perhaps I am pronouncing it correctly. It doesn't roll off the tongue and it doesn't even sound cute. Operation Cutesies. I'm not going to say Operation Femboys. What would you call it then? That's easy. I'd call us the Marauding Maids. That does have a nice ring to it. Or the Marauding Maids. I have to admit it's smoother than Operation Otokonoko. It's decided then, we're the Marauding Maids. Everyone toasts their glasses to the absurdity and bursts out laughing. First the apartment complex, next Akihabara. All we're missing is a dog named after mincemeat and will fit right in with the good old whatever that is. So here we come. Marauding Maids. What kind of mess have I gotten myself into? Don't worry, Flarina-san, we'll keep the pillaging to a minimum. Wow, I'm so taken aback by Sena's joke, I don't know how to respond. This is easier than most I've ever seen the girl drink. That wink too, I'd be lying if I said her playful smile didn't excite me even a little. I'll try to keep her ravaging to a minimum. Whatever your case of ravaging is, I do not want to know, Nanase. Your kind of ravaging is, well, out of this world. But no promises. Somewhere down the path, we went from full-scale invasion to corny pirate puns. I'm far too drunk to even try and think of a retort to that. As long as no one starts firing off cannons, we'll be fine. It depends what kinds of cannons. Remember, Flarina-San, this is your assistant manager. That's right, on top of celebrating the great success of the cafe. I also promoted Nanase to assistant manager. Is that what, Yeah, that was actually mentioned in Nanase's route, actually. Her becoming the assistant manager. With how she's taking care of everyone at the cafe, it's only fitting that she gets a bump up. Of course, I'll have to figure out just what an assistant manager does, but that can come later. Being a role model for the other three. What's that supposed to mean? What do you think? What if we want to hire another maid someday? Add to our ranks. Kazumi! A ravaging nut like you will send them running home crying. I don't see you crying, but we've had to deal with you after all this time, Nanase. Like you could. Damn, those two getting merry. The two girls lean in and press their lips together for a kiss. The whole event lasts no more than a couple of seconds, but it's enough to silence every other person in the room. Or does this turn into a truthful dare kind of thing? With drinks, that's even more pressing. Hayasaka and Nanase share a knowing smile of each other before slowly pulling away. What are you looking at? Nothing? Ayase answers in such a timid voice that Sena just erupts into the cutest laughter I've ever heard. Even Nanase and Hayasaka are grinning from ear to ear. In all my time with the cafe, I never thought I'd have all four maids in my apartment at the same time, let alone get to witness this. Unfortunately, time flies when you're having fun. It's already way past midnight, and even with having Sunday off, we should probably get to bed. There's 5 of us, and I've only got my own bed and the sofa. There's gonna be an issue. A big old issue. Alright, girls. I think that's enough. How about we call it a night? I suppose we should at least try for some sleep. You're right. Come on, lover boy. Excuse me? Calling me lover boy? How dare you? Oh. The morning rays of the sun leak in from the window, casting a spotlight over a mess of covers and bodies sprawl out over my floor. We've got amenities to be able to accommodate everyone. It takes me a few moments to brush out the sleep from my eyes before I can finally sit up and stretch. What a night. The 4 girls are still fast asleep and I have no intention of waking them. Meandering over to the kitchen, I pull open the fridge and pour myself out some orange juice. I consider starting up some breakfast for the girls, but without knowing how long they'll sleep, I decide against it. Kya! Oh. Sena? Just as I'm enjoying my quiet morning, a scream erupts from the living room and I hurry inside to see what's wrong. A mouse? A bug? Or maybe a peeping Tom? What is it? What's wrong? Well, we spent the night. Yeah, you were drunk. I couldn't just send you home. Were we really that bad? Yes. How should I respond? Yeah, they were drunk, alright. The empty bottles aren't exactly hard to spot. Yeah. I'm tipping this bottle upside down. Do you see a drop coming out of it? No, and you can apply that to each of the other bottles lying around the floor. But with saving the cafe, I can't really complain. The girls deserve the party. Not to mention, it was the wildest night I had in a long time. Probably the wildest night in my entire life. I suppose it makes sense though. Sena doesn't give off the vibes of being a party girl. Sena-can, what is it? Ayase is the next to wake up from a slumber. Well, she's the first one to fully open her eyes, but Sena's scream is a wonder the whole complex isn't pounding on my door. Would you keep it down with you? I'm trying to get my beauty sleep as well. Also, what's on our computer? It looks like it's Windows 11 or it's an iOS. What time is it? A little after 9. Hungry? I attempt to keep a mood light with as much as everyone drank through. I'm just glad no one's hunched over in the bathroom. Oh yes, the big white telephone. Oh. What happened? Oh yeah, exactly, what happened? Great, just what I needed. A migraine. Sena-can, Ayase-san, you two doing okay? The silence has it. At least of the 3, Hayasaka has the most measured response with how she's rubbing her head though. I get the feeling she didn't escape the party unscathed. The lilac maid looks at Nanase and gives the girl a shake. Nagiichi! Nagiichi, wake up! Oh. Nanase finally sits up and she looks like she could have used a few more hours of sleep. Well, this is a cheery bunch. Why'd you wake me? Flarina-San, do something to ya? No. Both Ayase and Sena jump at the sudden accusation. They send out an audible gasp. Look at Hayasaka, but she's holding back a laugh. Migraine my ass. Flarina-San? Nothing. I did nothing to her. Really? Then who was it I felt touching my chest last night? Flarina-San, you really... No, I did not. With how close you four slept together, it could have been any of you. I swear I never left my bedroom. Is this some kind of game? Maybe I should have kicked them all out last night. But seeing their laughs is wonderful. Suddenly all 4 girls burst out into laughter. I knew it. I knew it with all 4 of yees. This whole time. I'm sorry, Flarina-San. I know you wouldn't do a thing like that. But Hayasaka-san wanted to. Sena-can, shh, don't tell him. So it was planned. I almost lost it when you started shouting. Are you trying to disturb the neighbors? Lovely. I'm at a loss for words, but girls burst out laughing at me again, and all I can do is just stare back dumbfounded. Alright, very funny. You got me. I'm sorry, Flarina-san. I really did feel bad for causing you trouble. Don't be too sorry. This is Flarina-san we're talking about after all. Shaking my head, I start to laugh. Honestly, I can't imagine being anywhere else right now. One minute they're singing their hearts out for a cafe, and the next throwing me under the proverbial bus for their own amusement. Didn't I hear you say something about breakfast? Of course. What do you girls want? Rice bowl with eggs. Fresh, whatever that is. Give me some No. Sausage, of course. God damn it, Sena has a brief laugh at all the random requests from the girls. She's almost hesitant to say anything herself. Eventually, though, she smiles and gives me a much more realistic request. I wouldn't mind some pancakes. With all the different requests, everyone looks at me expectantly. I can't tell if they're all being serious or just jerking me around. At the very least, I think Sena is serious. Alright, pancakes it is. Exactly, pancakes it is. There's a collective groan from the other 3, but none appear to be too disappointed. I don't have everything in stock, I only have pancakes in stock. Instead, the 3 make themselves useful and start cleaning up the empty beer bottles lingering around the apartment. People are gonna think I'm some kind of alcoholic. But no, I've had friends around. As you can tell by the multiple myriads of voices. Really? How does he live in all this filth? And how much of that is because of you? Sena and I laugh at Hayasaka's comment as Sena starts mixing some batter once the ingredients are out. It's never been this lively here. I could almost get used to this. You need a bigger apartment first, I think. Or a house. or cafe? Yeah, maybe we just stick to the cafe for now. Flarina-San's got video games. Whoa, they're ancient. Damn. We're gonna spend an all-nighter here. Sena and I exchange knowing glances as I hear my TV get switched on and the old gaming system gets fired up. I glance back at and see Ayase and Nanase playing a fighting game. Hayasaka, who is much less interested, grabs a book from a shelf and starts reading. They're all making themselves at home. Not that I'm complaining, of course. It's like we're a family. We are, Flarina-San. Sena's right. The girls have said it to me many times since I started. I'd be lost without the girls. They'd be lost without me. It's symbiotic. If I hadn't been so thick-headed, maybe I'd have realized it sooner, but better late than never, I suppose. And all four. Yeah, all four. All four. I left college searching for a career. A place to make a name for myself and some money. What I found instead was something much more special. All four of these wonderful maids. And I couldn't be happier. I found a place to call home. I found a family. I found Girls, Girls, Girls Cafe. Sharing is caring, and I am apparently a cutie connoisseur. What a wonderful tale. I really love this game. Like, there's probably a lack of character individuality when it comes to like the total time that they all have with the manager in their own respective routes and the bad ending and the harem ending. But what is compacted into this game, especially the first half, I would say it is really tightly written. The second half of this game felt a little bit more loose and not disjointed, but I feel like at the very end of the second half of like any route really, it's all spread out the days to where like there wasn't really a huge amount going on aside from the main events. But with the first half of the game, like getting used to everything around these parts and knowing what our job is really, it is wonderful. It is a wonderful game, and I really appreciate all four characters in this game. When it comes to like ordering of what's my favorite character, I'll go by favorite to least favorite, but least favorite does not mean I dislike that character, but it's probably the character of which I have the most amount of quirks, let's just per se. Special thanks to the Kickstarter backers. So I would say Ayase, then it's either Sena or Nanase for my second favorite. But Hayasaka is definitely what I would say is my least favorite of the maids throughout the game. And again, it's not like I'm saying that I dislike that factor. For me particularly, Hayasaka has always been like a double-edged sword, especially, not always been like a double-edged sword, but as you go throughout the game, there's only really kind of two moods that you get out of her. Number one is that she's really polite and nice, and the other one is she likes to find any kind of room to take a jab at us, and then somehow retort that and say that she didn't really mean it like that. But in actuality, she's kind of punching you before she can actually talk about what's on her mind. Nanase is a little too aggressive when it comes to her whole theming, sorry. Like, she likes being the dominant one out of everyone, including her own manager in some ways. Whereas Ayase and Sena are the most wholesome ones. Ayase I find to be the most caring of the manager in a way, especially when it comes to after the jog. And after the jog itself, Ayase having the courtesy to be able to not only carry us back to our apartment, but also help us in our own ways, shower us, and be there with us in our time of need and when we're exhausted and almost collapse. Like, Ayase could have very easily just carried us home, but then be on her way. But no, she went that extra mile to ensure that we were okay. And I felt appreciative of that, of Ayase. And I feel like out of all the four, she is the one that considers us the most when it comes to our opinions and viewpoints and values and stuff like that. Sena is a close second. But Hayasaka and Nanase are the bolder two, which are two quite self-centric characters in their own ways. I'm not too sure, really. I have to really try and fathom out my opinions and see what I really go along with this game. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed each and every character in this game. Even in the dark times, even when the bad ending came along, like, I felt so mortified that the cafe closed down for real, and we end up in a scenario where we felt like we really crushed these girls' dreams of being able to continuously run this cafe, because it's not just a job for them, it's their home. And when you take away someone's home, you're literally not giving them anything else to lose from there, which is really sad in a way. Like, getting to know all these characters, obviously I won't dot through all of them because some of them have, oh, I've already done it too late now anyways, but... And, okay, we're missing 2 from Hayasaka and 1 from Nanase. I imagine that might not have something to do with the fact of the choice that you made throughout the game, but from a certain patch that could be installed into the game, which would be, okay, not here, but it would be in... possibly, there's a nice space under game settings where it could be. Not going too much into detail, but that could be where it's based at, considering all things. So let me know what you thought about this game. And also, I did say it was like part 10, this is actually part 11 of my playthrough of this game. So, what I would like for you to do as the viewer, a little bit of homework. What I'd like for you to do is, number 1, think about which girl you liked out of this game the most, but also which girl you like the least. But with your points, put them across as if you're playing this game for yourself, and I'm considering that to those who still have not purchased this game and played it for themselves, and kind of elaborate why you like said character or why you don't like said character. And elaborate it in a way so that it's not kind of pinpricking at the characters for a potential quirk that you dislike about them based upon like the words that they say, but kind of like their overall actions that they have with the other maids, with customers, and with the manager primarily. So it's like you're criticizing the character based upon their actions overall, but not as in like you're criticizing them based on like one particular opinion, because the small opinions here and there, they don't need to be amplified, but the bigger picture, fiction, trying to put together picture and fiction into one word. Blair Blitz 2023 invents a word called fiction. I hope you enjoyed this playthrough as much as I have. I thoroughly love this game, and if this game gets enough sales, like as I'm looking at this point in time, refresh. So on April the 23rd, and that's the time that in which a particular site from Myosuki, which are the development team behind the game, it says that in order to get to the beach episode DLC, at the time of recording this, or at the time in which the site has been last updated, it's only at 3% progress towards being able to get the beach episode DLC out. So we're barely through the progression bar in order to actually get to that point. I'm not sure if there are any other kind of alternative ways of being able to support the developers so that this beach episode DLC could be possible sooner, but at the moment visually that's the only way in which we'll be able to get additional content. There's also additional maid outfits for all 4 girls, so there might be a way of being able to customize their visual settings. Quality of life update is nearly at 20%. Apparently there's been no sales in Central America, so for those who want to play this game in the Spanish language, there's no progression so far with that. But I hope you will enjoy this game. Thank you all so much to everyone who has watched this. Thank you to everyone who's commented. Thank you so much to the developers for initially reaching out to me. Like back in 2020, I would not have known this game unless I was contacted to say, hey, here's a game that you might like. And when I looked at the game, I was a bit on the fence sitting because I was like, I've not really discovered this kind of genre before. Would I be able to take an interest in this kind of Otokonoko genre? Or do I think, no, this is not for me? And I think possibly the worst outcome would be is to have some kind of prejudicistic outcome saying, no, this is not for me, and say some heinous suggestion as to like why I don't like it. But no, I sat there and I gave it a chance, and I think that it is not as big of a how do you call it? It's not as big of a deterrent to people as people might think or people might presume. And in a lot of comments I've seen, people are thinking that the genderization of said characters are presented in a way so that it doesn't actually biologically employ them as being boys, but just being them employed as girls. But that's not really correct, as they're cross-dressing with maid outfits and stuff like that. So if you're cross-dressing in an otherwise girly fashion as maids, then by default, if you're cross-dressing as maids, then you would be a male. But I don't see that as something that is a barrier, but more or less an extension towards the experience that the game presents to the player. And with all 4 of these, I find that they present themselves, especially with Nanase's interactions with, like, it doesn't matter who you are as long as you enjoy yourself as you are, and you don't judge people based upon like labels and stuff, but you just judge them based on how they interact with you and how you interact with them. It doesn't matter what's under the hood, as long as you enjoy your time with said people, and it doesn't matter what gender they are, it doesn't matter what their beliefs are. To a certain extent, obviously there would be things in which if they say that they are a fan of this particular heinous thing, then I'll be like, that's not for me, and I might give a wide berth. But that would have to be an absolutely extreme thing for me to be completely turned off by a said character because of a said love that they have for something that is incredibly heinous for humanity. Like they're into, let's say, serial killing, for example. Like that would be like, no, I don't want anything to do with you. Thank you, goodbye. But none of the girls here presented that kind of thing, and actually the complete contrary. They all have different ambitions in life, but they all have one thing unifying, is that of their love of the cafe and their love of each other as well. They all rely on each other. They all have symbiotic relationships with one another. Like they help each other and each other help each other back, if you get what I mean. I really enjoyed this game for its story and with the interactions with each of the maids and with the maids' interactions with the customers. Like, it is a very niche kind of plot point that you go into a cafe and you discover that everyone in there are cross-dressing maids. but that should not be a barrier, but something which you should at least consider and think maybe this is not for you. But it shouldn't be like you hear about it and you're automatically turned off, because that is kind of prejudice. So that goes across to any kind of really niche attractions. You got to give it a chance before you can give it a overall opinion. Like, there's always some kind of opinion put forward, but it's not something that is going to determine whether you like said opinion or not. But I'm going to wrap this up. This outro has been going on for far too long, but I did want to just point out some few things about said characters and said representation of characters, because honestly I do not believe it's as big of a deal as some people point out, especially with some of the negative reviews of the game. Like, they're not pointed towards like anything that is kind of in the game, but how the characters are represented. And I just really don't get that. Like, I really don't get some people's really heinous points towards like how a character is represented. They're a character. They're a character in a game, okay? It's more important that if people are really upset about people that are in a game, you know, not real life characters, but representations of people that could be in real life. I don't know. Never getting myself too worked up over nothing, but thank you so much for watching. Hope you all have a lovely day. Hope you all enjoyed this playthrough. Thank you ever so much to everyone who has supported me throughout this playthrough, along with other videos as well, either in the past or in the future. And please let me know what other kinds of games you would like me to play on the similar spectrum of this game. I really enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed the discoveries going through this game. But also, to get to the Harem ending, I have to have a big thank you to Sena, who put together the All Endings guide on Steam. Like, there are obvious things which is like, okay, this is a choice which definitely gets you these kind of in-game points to get you to the ending outcome, but there are other less obvious choices, like picking Ayase, sorry, to be able to get the choice of not being able to compete with the girls, to be honest. Like, that's probably the only really out of the way one. But then there's also getting to the mole where Hayasaka appears, and then when Sena appears. For some odd reason, when I initially played this game, getting to that point was really easy, but actually trying to nail that down and trying to get to that point was really hard. Thank you so much for watching, and take care of yourselves, individuals of all kinds out there, but you are all maids to me at the end of the day.